On this brand new episode of PhonePod, Jake and I discuss Samsung's Galaxy S6, which is pretty much a blatant ripoff of the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. We also touch on a few other devices from MWC or the Mobile World Conference, some iOS news including the Apple Car, as well as what's new in the world of virtual reality.
Sam, I've got a bone to pick with Samsung.
No, I love Samsung. They're my favorite. Don't be mean to them, because I think I'm going to switch to the Galaxy S6 since it's basically an iPhone now, right?
I mean, basically, I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for, right?
It's so bad. Like, I know it was pretty bad in the past where they kind of like took a little bit of ideas, but this one is almost crossing.
I'm loving it.
This one's almost crossed on the line. Wouldn't you agree?
Listen, I'm like okay, with competition. I'm all right with some ideas, being used in their own way. But when they complain about it, they make a big deal about it, all right? With those ads, when their shots at Apple are direct shots. They are not lighthearted, as all of Apple's commercials always have been, especially with the PC versus Mac commercials.
Those are great.
Then he's not being he's not being mean to the other guy. The Samsung commercials are exactly like that, with that douchebag guy who he's like, I'm gonna sympathize with people. Like the Samsung Galaxy, well, you gotta be a wall hugger if you got an iPhone. Look who's a wall hugger now without your removable back.
So let's talk about that, because they took a direct shot, as you've been saying, at Apple a couple years ago with the whole wall hugger commercial and how iPhones always ran out of battery and how
there's other stuff that I can't think of right now, but
I've got a few ideas, but one of the flagship features of the Galaxy S6 and one of the main arguments whenever you would debate with somebody about the Galaxy S6 was, I have the ability to change out a battery. Like, for example, a kid at school the other day just randomly took a battery out of his pocket and put it in his phone. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just switching out batteries because it's dying. So, number one, this is the Galaxy S3, so I'll cut him some slack. It's an older phone. But it was just weird. He just took a battery out of his pocket and popped it in his phone.
What was his first name?
Ben. Not, rhymes with Bean as his last name.
Okay, I got it.
So anyway, yeah, he just popped the battery in and out. And I thought that was kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of carrying around a lithium-ion battery in my pocket. If it exploded or something, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Right.
Go ahead.
Just to add raw battery in your pocket is kind of weird. But it's like those shots. And Techno Buffalo said, "Well, it's okay. The past is the past." They can. Look, I'm fine with them not having a removable back either. If I had a Galaxy, God forbid, I wouldn't be carrying around another battery. It would run out of battery and that'd be it. I don't care. I wouldn't care if there's a removable back. I would absolutely use the SIM, the micro SD card expansion. Don't know why they didn't just put that on the side of the phone.
I guess
probably because it wouldn't look enough like the iPhone 6.
Probably at this point. But yeah, so I mean, now they lost their ability to switch out batteries. They lost their removable storage as well. So what you get with your Galaxy is just like the iPhone. There's no switching out storage. You cannot change it once you buy it. Once again, another one of those features that if you got into an argument with somebody about the storage,
wouldn't be an argument anymore.
Yeah. So there's two. I would argue that those are huge arguments for the Galaxy, just down the drain. Now I'm trying to think of what else. Do you know? Do you know of anything else that is different? I'm trying to think about it off the top of my head.
Well, to go back to the sides, they have a little slant to them, but it's the same color as the iPhone 6. It has those little white bands.
The antenna bands are so bad. It looks exactly like an iPhone.
It looks exactly like the iPhone 6. Now, I will say, when I saw the iPhone 6 at first, I immediately thought about the HTC One's cell bands, but they're placed differently than HTC's were. Like HTC just had a line on the back. The iPhone 6 has like this like little thing that goes around like the top of it. I still not a big fan of it this day. I'm so used to it now, don't even notice it, but like it doesn't look that great. But Samsung basically put it in the same spot, like on the bottom of the phone. It looks, the speaker grill exactly like those little circles exactly like the iPhone 6's. And then our friend Max was making a statement about, well, that wasn't as bad as Apple putting the lock button on the side of the phone. It's like,
oh, come on.
It's like Samsung didn't come up with the idea to put the lock button on the side of the phone. All right, and that's just because bigger phones need the lock button on the side. That's not because Samsung did it first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of the first. I remember so clearly, like the Monday after I got my iPhone 6, like one of the first things is, of course, everybody's like, "Oh, let me see." I'm like, sure. So I showed them it, and they're like, "Oh, the lock button's on the side. Doesn't that?" And they were almost like struggling forwards. They're like, "Oh, that looks like one of those Galaxies, doesn't it?" I'm like,
Galaxy Notes.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it does kind of look like that. But I mean, the reason they put it there wasn't because they want to be like Android. I accidentally did the other day. Like, I tried to reach to the top of my phone, just like I had a brain fart. And it was kind of hard. I mean, to stretch your thumb all the way up there. It's in the perfect position. You just click it and you're
no
good.
point to have it on the top.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have put it on the top. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's so unfair how Samsung gained the foothold that it did, even though it's not the best Android phone. Like, it's not fair because everybody, like, the regular people are going to compare between Samsung, not the HTC. Nobody knows about the HTC One. Maybe people know about the LG G3 just because it is a little bit more consumer friendly, I guess. I do like the LG G3, but if I had to choose a Samsung phone right now, I'd probably choose the HTC HTC One M9 that was just announced at the Mobile World Developers Conference also.
Yeah, beautiful transition, by the way. So I was actually trying to find an article on it, and I'm struggling here. Because I know, like, the very basics. I saw a couple pictures of it, and I believe the aluminum body or whatever is pretty much unchanged from last generation.
Yeah,
so like it looks the same, but
it's the same shape. It just has like a brushed feel, but the sides are like different, so it's two-toned. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an article. I feel bad for not being prepared about this. This is just kind of gonna be like a side note.
Right.
HTC One M9.
It's all good, Sam. We've been going pretty good so far. So
yeah. Anyway, it's basically the same phone as last generation. Of course, I can't find the exact specs. I was trying to see if it compares to the M9.
No, it's strong. M8. It's faster. It definitely has like a better chip or.
Yeah, I found it.
Who was it that has the 8-core chip now? Is that them or is that Samsung?
Well, the phone has 3 gigs of RAM, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Octa-core Snapdragon 810.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 core. That's insane.
I know, that's crazy.
My computer has 2.
I know. My computer also has 2. Wait, your computer has 2?
Yeah.
It doesn't have 4?
No. You don't have a quad core.
No, I don't have a quad core. I thought you had a quad core.
No.
So your i5 is 2 cores.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I'm 99%, or I'll go at 90 because I'm not positive, but I'm like pretty darn sure that it's 2 gigs. 2 gigs, 2 cores, 2 gigs of RAM. Those were the days, man.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh yeah, so, here's some quick specs for the HTC One M9. It's got a 1080p 5.0 inch screen with a resolution of obviously 1080, 441 ppi, 2 gigahertz octa-core application processor, 3 gig RAM, 32 gig memory off the bat, but of course you can expand that with micro SD. 20.7 megapixel camera.
That's a big thing.
2160p video, so it's got 2K video, I guess. It says 2160p at 30 FPS.
I always forget the resolution of 2K.
Because 1920 by 1080, I assume it would be 2K. But I could be wrong on that. Obviously, LTE and stuff.
2K
Bluetooth.
Sports came up when it's 2048. What did you say? By 1536.
Oh, 2160p. So yeah, this is 2K. Because 2100 is higher.
Right. And then 4K is 4096 by.
Actually,
3072. Also, these things vary, guys. So
something around there. And also, if you guys are interested, getting HTC One M9, it's going to be launching on the 31st of March.
And obviously,
10 days after my birthday.
Right, and obviously those cores are obviously like only each one of them, but it's only like how many gigahertz chip. So it's not those cores. It's better for phones to have more cores because I guess it's more power efficient because
I have no idea.
You're spreading the information out to get it done faster. I prefer to have faster speed and less cores. I mean, that's for gaming. If you're going to do editing, you're going to want more cores.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why I'm getting into this whole spiel about cores now.
It's okay.
But, yeah, so I like that HTC One M9. People were, like, wanting a resolution and upgraded stuff. Is like, I really don't see the need to go past 19. I don't see the need to go past 1080 screens on phones for at least like a year or two more.
Yeah, I think 1080p is good.
Yeah, your face is up in it. 1080p is fine. Like, batteries need to get a lot better before we go past that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to move on to some iOS news?
Sure.
It's always like my favorite thing to talk about. I don't know what it is, but
that's your channel name. So.
I just love updates. Like I was telling my mom this today. I'm like, I just love updates.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's so strange.
Sam, whenever like he grabs my phone, he's like, "You haven't updated in the App Store," and then like I'll go into the App Store and like click Update App. I'm like, "All right, thanks, Sam."
I'm so bad about it. I'll just like. That's literally if someone like gives me their phone for a second, the first thing I'll do is launch the App Store. Or if they're on jailbroken, I'll go to the settings app to update. It's bad. Anyway, I don't know why. I love updates. I love like seeing the little update button go, and I don't know. I guess that's why. I named my channel iUpdateOS. Exactly.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, we're gonna talk about some iOS 8.2 news. There's a new rumor, or actually I think it's almost a pretty confirmed rumor by BGR, which I think is the Boy Genius Reports. I've actually just discovered this website, but they're pretty big, I think. Anyway, they were able to get their hands on the iOS 8.2 official release notes, and they say it's going to be coming next week. As you guys know, Apple's going to be holding an event on March 9th, so I assume that this is going to launch either a couple days after the event or even that day of the event, which is going to be super crazy if it does, because you're going to have all the info about the Apple Watch expectedly, as well as some info on iOS 8.2. So I want to read you guys the release notes if you're interested. Health app improvements adds the ability to select the unit of measurement for body temperature and weight. Basically, these aren't too interesting, so I'm just going to skip over those. Stability improvements I think are pretty important. So it says there's going to be improved stability of mail, flyover and maps, music, voiceover, and also connectivity with made for iPhone hearing aids, which is good. And there's also quite a few bug fixes as well. So there's not a whole lot new in 8.2. Really, it looks like it's basically going to be a bug fix update. Not a whole lot going on with that, which is kind of disappointing, but also it's good that they're fixing a lot of bugs. I mean, as me and Jake have discussed before, we don't really have any bugs on iOS.
Yeah, I don't notice a lot of issues. I mean, stuff just crashes on my iPad mini, but that's just because I guess it sucks now.
Yeah, poor A5.
Yeah, so I'm reading this. I'm gonna see if I notice
just
anything that I've had a problem with.
I mean, it really doesn't look like it's that much. Just kind of like a lot of bug fixes. Fixes a time zone issue.
Yeah,
calendar events.
8.2 isn't like as big. It's just the iWatch update, pretty much.
Yeah, and then that kind of brings me into my next point, because there's also another rumor. I believe this one was by 9to5Mac, Mark Gurman there. He said that iOS 8.2 is going to launch pretty much either the day of the Apple event or sometime very, very soon after. As well as actually 8.3 is going to be the update that ships with the Apple Watch in April.
The Apple Watch is coming out in April?
You didn't know that?
January, February, March, April. Well, I guess we're in March, so I guess that's not bad. For some reason, I thought April was longer away, but...
Longer away.
Man, this year's going by too fast.
I cannot believe... Can you believe 3 months have gone by?
That's crazy. This is a fast year.
I guess 2 months, but...
Also, this is going to be a really... It's already been a pretty good year so far. I'm pretty happy with how it's been going, so...
Mm-hmm.
I said at the beginning of 2014 that I was looking forward to 2050.
Yeah, 2014, I didn't like it that much. It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, there's stuff that we forget about that happened in it. I mean, I was thinking about one, like, a couple days ago. Why am I forgetting this? Well, Destiny, but... Mm-hmm. It was the year of AAA titles coming out and not working. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So that was the iOS news, guys. 8.2 is going to be coming out super soon, and 8.3 should be launching with the Apple Watch, I think.
So, what number after what third point number do you think we'll get up to before 8.3 comes out?
There is... Actually, I want to talk about something else. Thank you for bringing this back up. So,
sure.
I think the cap for iOS 8 is going to be 8.4.
Really?
So we haven't really talked about this yet, but I just remembered it when I said 8.4 because this is also from 9to5Mac. Mm-hmm. Basically, Apple is rumored to be starting its own music streaming service separate from Beats. So not Beats Music, but like Apple.
Beats has a streaming service?
Yeah, you didn't... Beats Music.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like a Spotify. I've used the app a little bit. The interface is just kind of weird, so I tried the trial and I just didn't like it that much, so now I'm on Spotify. But apparently it's going to be like around $8 a month for the streaming service, or maybe even cheaper. That would be like the highest it would probably be. And
all right. So now that I'm up to date, that sounds stupid.
Really?
Well, why did you buy Beats and not do anything with it? I'm still confused to why they bought Beats, haven't put any of the technology in any of their devices yet, and I still don't understand what's going on if Android phones can license that, if, computers that already have it had to relicense that, like, how did that all work out? Still no news on that yet, if that's a problem, what they're doing with that. I generally, if I'm going to see Apple buy something, I want them to use that product to the maximum capacity that they possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit confused as well. Maybe they're going to, like, integrate Beats with it somehow, or... I mean, I guess you're right. Maybe they just haven't had the time to implement Beats Audio into their products. Like, I don't know. I guess they just got it. Maybe the design teams are still working together. And
it was too close to the iPhone 6, so I could have understood that, I guess. But if it's not in the next iPhones, I really don't see the point of why they have Beats. And now you're saying they're launching another music service, which is interesting because they also, along with iTunes Radio, which is basically Pandora, except not as good because of larger amount of people on Pandora. They've got iTunes Match, right? So and I forgot what this thing is.
This, like, it puts your entire iTunes music library on your computer in the cloud so you can listen to it on any device. And it gives you no ads in iTunes Radio.
That's all right.
I thought about getting it, but...
That's not what I thought it was. What was it, like, you could pay for a premium with iTunes Radio or something, or...
No, there is no premium iTunes... I mean, I guess iTunes Match would be the premium of iTunes Radio, but there's not really, like, a standalone premium like Spotify.
So I thought there was something else. Also, this iTunes Match has been bothering me because it hasn't been, like... It's still kind of... It looks like a Mavericks interface. like the iTunes Match has like, the gradient across it, like the line, the shine line, and the buttons look like Mavericks icons. It's just bothering me for some reason.
All right.
Have new what's the word I'm looking for?
Updated interface?
Unification.
All right. That'll work. That sounds good enough.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better word. So do you want to talk about your VR headsets that just were announced? Was that GDC?
I'm ready to go. Yeah, GDC. I love how these things are kind of called like, so Mobile World Developer, so MWD? Wait,
MWC.
what?
Mobile World Conference.
Oh, yeah, sorry. MWC, GDC,
And what does GDC stand for?
Game Developer Conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, as many of you may or may not know, it's kind of like a conference for like companies and stuff. It's not really a consumer thing. At least I believe it is. I have no clue. But like I didn't hear about it as much as like other stuff. So, basically it was the GDC of VR. And we've talked about VR in the past. And basically my statement is, I want to see it happen, but I'm probably not going to get one for a really long time. Like, I just want to see these things come out, and, I want people to buy them, but I don't want to. So, there you go.
Yeah, that's VR in 30 seconds.
Right, but so basically we got an update from Sony on Project Morpheus. Valve, which is the people who create Steam for the PC, and, made some games too and everything. They're making a headset in cooperation with HTC called the Revive or Vive or Vive. Nobody knows the name of it. So, nobody can decide if it's Vive or Vive. Nobody knows. Anyway, so basically the rundown, going back to the Oculus Rift, we have 1920 by 1080, and the resolution per eye is 960 by 1080. It's OLED technology, the Oculus Rift is. That's all one screen. Moving on to the Morpheus, same resolution, but it's an LCD screen. In the field of view is only 90 degrees, which is interesting. Also, I hope these specs are updated. Now, the Valve headset is only 90 FPS.
That seems like a lot.
Well, here's why there's a problem with it.
Okay.
HTC partnership again, and it's 1200 by 1080 with 2 screens. But, like I just said, 2 screens. Okay. That's what a VR headset should be. 2 screens, not 1 screen where you're not using over half the screen. Yeah. Well, you are using it, but you don't see all of it. Mm-hmm. You're looking through like magnifying glasses. Like, the idea of screens designed for VR make me feel better about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of said my statement on VR, but I'm kind of done with it for now. Right,
yeah, I know. I just wanted to bring it up really fast because, it's kind of dumb, like, that, it's it's a cool thing, all right? I want to see it succeed because it's been trying to succeed for over 20 years now. I don't know. But that, like, it needs to happen because along with this, Valve has also announced a Steam box. It's not out yet. Valve has also announced a controller. It's not out yet. Other Steam boxes were not out because the Steam box wasn't out. Like, people need to take the first step or else nobody else is going to take it after you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And, but basically, I like, the Morpheus looks really cool. it's basically going to be a battle between the Morpheus and Valve's Vive for me, because Valve uses IR blasters, so you can walk around the room and it tracks you and stuff. I'm sure Project Morpheus will have some form of that too. The Oculus Rift has a gyroscope in it, I believe. I'm not sure. It's kind of all over the place, these things. I can't keep track of them. But basically, the Oculus Rift isn't the coolest one anymore. It probably is going to be the cheapest, but Oculus Rift's like, hey guys, I'm not kidding. They basically said, hey, if you could slow down like we've been doing, that would be good. Because Oculus Rift has taken 2-3 years now. I don't know.
There's really been nothing happening
with it. Like there's the developer kit too, where they basically upgraded it, and I think it needs to be released alongside all these, basically. But that happened, so I'm sorry. That was a very incoherent view of what happened with headsets. But basically, Valve announced a new headset. You can look up the specs, and Project Morpheus kind of talked about by Sony that will be tethered with the PlayStation 4. Obviously, they've also basically released the specs for that too. You can buy an Oculus Rift DK2 right now if you want to.
How much are they? Do you know?
Not a lot. Hold on. Not as much as you think it is.
So this is like a development kit. Order now.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's $350.
Yeah, it's $350, but that actually is kind of expensive.
Yeah, definitely not up my forte anytime soon.
So I mean, all these things, guys, have to be tethered to a computer. And the Oculus has to obviously be tethered to a powerful computer to run. Not super powerful, but my computer probably run it. But it's basically a screen that's plugged in your computer. Anyway, going to tethering devices. You know what would have been a good thing for Valve's headset to be tethered to? Maybe the Steam box that they should have released last year.
Yeah, what? Is this like a new game console almost?
The Steam... So, basically what a Steam box is, what the whole idea was that was supposed to release last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's basically an Xbox. It's a console, but it runs PC games. But it doesn't run Windows. It runs SteamOS, a Linux-based Steam, basically OS. And in my mind, that was a really good idea because you're designing an OS to run games, and basically that's all it's doing. So, obviously Windows is a full desktop platform, and you can get SteamOS to run as a desktop platform. But it seems like all the resources are being devoted to games. It sounded like a very good idea, but obviously it has to be designed better than it has to be programmed better than Windows and stuff. And to my knowledge, SteamOS is still a beta thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there really hasn't been
you can install it like for a test, but like. Yeah, they were saying, we're going to have this, we're going to make this thing, we're going to have SteamOS. Other people can make Steam boxes, and SteamOS will be, is free, I think. And it'll just license it to it, and it'll bring games over to the Linux system because it has to run on the Linux platform. So, it was a really interesting idea, but the price was not going to work. Because it's like, the price was at a point where it's like, well, why don't you just buy a gaming computer then?
Yeah, really.
Like, yeah, it's like there's no... It got to the point where it's like, well, I could just buy a gaming computer, and I could also run Windows. It's like the price had to be low, but the technology had to be high enough so it ran games good. And then, like, there was all this hype about it, and then they're like, oh, we're not really sure about this. And they also took forever to develop their controller that they're still making, that they just said, along with the Steam box, that we were going to get these out 2015. That we decided we're going to get these out later this year. So we'll see. They said that last year, I'm pretty sure, too, but... I don't know what Valve's doing with that. I hope that that doesn't become the case with the VR headset. But why I think the Valve's headset is going to do better than all of them is because Valve, along with Steam, what they do is they go, hey, we're making this game. You have to use our thing to play this game. So buy it.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
If you don't have it, well, you can't use it. No, it's not. It's not messed up. It's a perfect plan. So that's why Steam exists. Why Steam exists. Other people try to copy off of them. Origin, EA has Origin. There's other ones. That's why it worked. And if they say, hey, you want to play Half-Life 3? Well, you got to buy the set. Everybody's gonna get it. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to buy something extra just to play something.
Well, you're not going to because you don't even know what Half-Life is. But
yeah, Half-Life is the best game ever.
I haven't played the Half-Lives.
Anyway, that was a short discussion on VR headsets.
That was not short, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
And then also, NVIDIA's like, hey, we're not going to wait anymore. We're making... basically what I was talking about in a couple podcasts ago, the Forge TV that Razer's making, they're making their own. It's basically, it looks really cool, too. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to find a picture of this thing and send it to you. But it's basically, so, have you heard about the NVIDIA Shield?
Yeah, that's that little Game Boy thing, only it's bigger and updated.
Right, but they're also calling everything a Shield. So they're calling they came out with a tablet and they called it the Shield too, and now they're coming up with this set-top box, and guess what it's called? The Shield. It's called, the NVIDIA Shield box, or I don't know. But yeah, so they're coming out with their own. It's gonna run on their a new Tegra chip, and you'll be able to stream games from it as long as you have an NVIDIA graphics card, obviously. I think it's better than the Force TV because it's more powerful. The only weird thing, so guess what they said? They were really full about themselves, really full of themselves at the conference. They said, one of the people in charge of GDC called us and asked us to save GDC or something like that. And then also, they go, it's the first Android TV, gaming set-top box. It's like, no, it's not. Razer announced one at CES. You're not the first one. So, I thought that was funny, too.
That's pretty funny. Alrighty. Are we ready to move on to the,
yeah, sure.
Not the elephant in the room, but we've actually been thinking about this in the back of our minds for quite some time. So when we heard that Apple was legitimately working on a car, that's pretty crazy.
Right.
Because you have to think about a few things relating to Apple making a car. Number one, Apple's never made anything other than technology as far as computers. They've never made anything different than a computer, because an iPhone's a computer, iPad's a computer, basically an iPod's a computer. Apple is a computer company. So how in the world... What?
Apple's... Sorry, I interrupted your beautiful build-up. Continue, sorry.
Okay. How in the world is Apple that is a computer company, going to sell a car? I mean, I think I saw something that another podcast referenced that the CEO or somebody high up in a car company said that there's no way Apple's going to make it in this market. They have no idea what they're doing. But apparently they've hired all these people from BMW and a few people from Tesla. And,
people from Tesla, yeah.
I mean, they're kicking it into high gear for this car, which is crazy. I mean,
well, if they're going to start this now, yeah, they got to go full-fledged at it. They got to tackle it because that's the only way this is going to work.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this? Because I think it's going to be awesome. I'm a little scared about the price, knowing that it's made by Apple, but I'm interested to hear what you're thinking about this.
Right, so at first I couldn't believe this, but yeah, I think I'm just interested if Apple's gonna basically make like a little, a Prius.
Yeah, it's supposed to be all
like a little smart car, or they're gonna make like a sexy looking Tesla type style car.
And I'm sure they will.
And I hope they will. And I guess it kind of makes sense. Apple's goal for everything has basically been to evolutionize, not revolutionize, evolutionize something that already exists. So cars have been around for a while. They probably should have still done this when Steve Jobs was alive, but
well, I mean, they probably were working on it then. Honestly,
they probably should have, though. Seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, but
they work years ahead, don't they? You would have to think.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know at all, but yeah. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I have no clue what to think about it, quite frankly. Just because I'm not a big car person. I do want to see. I do want to see them. Like, I do want to go to. I would love to see like them at the WWDC stage, and then just like a car just drives out on the stage. Like, I know that would happen, but that would be so awesome.
I don't know. I could see them being like, and we've got one more thing to show you, or as Tim Cook would say,
we have one more thing.
Because making a car is something only Apple could do. The Android Auto cars are a toxic house, Stu.
Dude, Samsung's gonna come out with a car now.
That's the joke now. Like now Samsung's gonna be like, scrambling to get some like piece of crapola car together just to be like, oh, we've got better removable storage.
Like, got like the door fault and removable storage. You can plug your you can plug your 3.0 flash drive into the into the console.
That'd be hilarious.
Your micro USB.
But I mean, this is gonna be interesting if they are, and of course, I mean, I've heard people say that of course they could just scrap the project and never do it. Because, I mean, this is obviously not confirmed by Apple at all.
They can't do that now.
You don't think so?
No. You can't just back out.
Well, I mean, they've worked on other things.
It's basically confirmed. Like, I thought you said something was slightly... What did you say? You're like, oh, it's totally confirmed now. What did you tell me when you said...
I mean, it's like there's a lot of indicators pointing that they're working on a car. But it's not like...
If Apple wasn't, like, at first, like, when Apple, like, said they were making, like, when it was rumored they were making Apple Watches, like, if they back out on that one, I would understand, and I wouldn't care that much. You can't back out of this now. It's too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I'm not convinced yet. I believe. I mean, I guess it just no. I mean, it's not saying that I doubt them. It's just, I mean, I kind of agree, like, with what some people have been saying. Like, how is this tech company gonna just build a car? Like, how in the world are they gonna market the Apple car? How are there gonna be an Apple dealer for these cars?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, it's just I don't know how it's gonna work yet. Like, there's so many things to think about.
Wait, what? Bomb. Wait. Oh, wait. Should I say that?
I mean,
Could
I
I
don't know.
say
I
a
don't know
car
if you can do
dealership
that.
local? Or I don't even know. Local car dealership. There we go. Local car dealership. Authorized reseller.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Like it has in the car ads like authorized reseller next to the Apple Car things, because at Best Buy they have like that and everything.
Is Best Buy gonna start selling like the Apple Car now, and like are other companies gonna start making cars? There's just so much info that obviously we don't know yet, because I mean realistically this thing is years out. Do you not agree with that?
I was, for some reason, I've seen like we would see it sooner than.
I mean, this is a car. They
I
gotta
know
have it.
I know
safe.
it's a car, yeah, but they're hiring car people.
Oh, and I know, and I'm sure this thing isn't gonna happen. I sounded a
Like
little
it's
skeptical.
not. It's not like hey, like the people from the iOS department are like, hey, we need you to go down and work on the car. Nobody. It is all new people. Nobody up there. Or no people already working there are helping build this car, other than the OS that's running on the thing that'll be inside it, the console. Unless you plug your iPad in.
I'm not so convinced, because I mean I know they've pulled people from the iOS team to work on Mac stuff before.
But that's all software.
That's true. That's a good point. You're right. I mean, this is completely different than a software. This is like
you're building a car.
Johnny Ive's gonna be like, all right, guys, today we're gonna design the muffler. It's gonna have an Apple logo on the back. All right, let's move on, folks. Got a car to make.
Exactly.
But I don't know. Apple Car is one of those toss-up subjects that, like, I don't really know what to think yet until we get more info. But it's exciting. That's one thing I can say. I know I've kind of been like all over the place with this, but I can say that knowing that Apple's building a car is exciting, because I don't know. It's Apple. I love everything that Apple makes pretty much. And to know that they'd be making a car, I mean, I think that'd be pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Don't really know what to think about it yet, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, it looks like we have 2 or 3 questions, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We got, I guess we'll start with the first one.
Thanks for sending these in, guys.
Yeah, if you guys want to...
we're going to answer them.
Yeah, if you guys want to... Well, we can't guarantee every question, but because it has to be appropriate and stuff.
Duplicated questions aren't going to really work.
Yeah, but, so if you guys have a question, drop us a line on Twitter at Agent Revelation or at iUpdateOS. I better actually check through my mentions to make sure somebody didn't like randomly do one throughout the week. I don't think it is.
Lauren had a really good question that we didn't touch upon.
What was that about?
We'll get to it.
All right, so the number
Leave people hanging.
Yeah. All right, so the first question got sent in by Alfonso Dingo Torres. I apologize if I just butchered your name, man. He also goes by at CP Video Maker on Twitter. I believe he is a jailbreak developer. He makes a lot of cool stuff. His question is, what do you think of the videos I made from Jeff's reviews into songs? So Jeff Benjamin is a guy who works at iDownload Blog, does tons and tons of great work with city reviews and such, and he basically is like kind of like auto-tuned him in his videos, singing like Shake It Off, and what was another one?
I'm so fancy.
Yeah, Jeff's So Fancy. They were hilarious. We'll definitely leave a link to where you can watch them.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
They were super well made. Nice job, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to read Amit's question?
Sure. So Amit asked, what type of Apple Watch will we be getting? I will not be getting the Apple Watch. Maybe later in life I will. I don't know what range of time that is either. Because $350 is just a little bit too much. But Sam is getting the Apple Watch. So.
Yes, because my birthday's coming up soon, so obviously I'm going to be getting a little bit of extra cash. So that's what I'm pretty sure like 99% of my birthday funds are going to go to from family, friends, and everything. The Apple Watch I'm getting, I've decided, and I feel like this is so cliche because I've seen so many people on Twitter and from websites say that they're going to get this one. There's a couple reasons I'm going to do this, and I'll talk about that now. I actually might make a video about what Apple Watch I'm going to get when you can pre-order them, because I kind of did that with the iPhone 6. But right now, before the event on March 9th, my plans are to get a space gray Sport Edition Apple Watch with just a black... It's like a polyphemester band, or it's a really weird name, like a fluorimester band, whatever default band's going to come with the Apple Watch. But I'm going to get a black band space gray watch because it looks so nice.
I think that's a good choice.
And there's a few reasons for that. Probably number one is the price, because it's only $349, and I'm sure it'll be like $400 or something with the band, because I've heard the bands are going to be separate, which is, of course, something Apple would do.
Really? It doesn't.
Yeah, I think the bands
are one band.
It might, but I also am gonna get the Sports Edition. What?
Oh yeah.
Did I cut out for a second? Hello?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's good now.
I'm also gonna get the Sports Edition because I'm a runner, and I've always wanted a watch, and I've actually been holding off on a smartwatch for probably 6, maybe even a year now. I would say at least 6+ months, but definitely a year so far. Because I've really wanted to watch when I run. The phone is so heavy to carry, and I know what you're saying. Well, not heavy, but it's bulky. But to use the Apple Watch, you're going to need a phone. So that's kind of disappointing. I'm really hoping somebody makes an app that will be able to measure distance ran in time without the requirement of an iPhone. Because, like, I don't want to have to carry a watch and a phone on a run. Like, obviously, you want to go as lightweight as possible.
It's dumb that it doesn't do that without...
Yeah, hopefully there will be a jailbreak that allows you to do that if it's not by default. But I am going to get the Sport because I like to run, and Sport just kind of fits me pretty good. Obviously, there's no point in the Edition. I mean, that's just a status symbol. Or if you love watches.
There's rumors that it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah, there's rumors that it's going to be like $10,000 something.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sam's just going to pick up one of those.
Yep, Sport Edition, space gray black. And I know a lot of people are getting that, but personally I think that looks the nicest. Obviously I'm not going to get some flamboyant like pink or green band.
The Sport Edition is like the one that's like it has like the it's not glossy, it's like matte, and you're saying space gray, so it's not like MacBook color. It's like
it'll be
iPhone 5S color.
Yeah, iPhone 6, iPhone 5S color. Yeah.
I would get the white one. As long as the screen's not white. Is the screen white too?
No. The screens are always black.
Like the bezel around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Alrighty, next question is from Lauren Kunst, who was actually a guest on the show a couple weeks ago. Shout out to him once again. His question is at iUpdateOS at Agent Revelation. You think Apple Car will be self-driving? Do you think that they have the balls to make a rear-wheel drive car? Interesting questions.
That we basically kind of answered the to have the balls to make a real wheel
so
drive.
Hard.
Jeez.
Here, I'm gonna try to say that 5 times fast. I said real.
Real wheel drive.
Rear wheel drive. Rear.
Oh, rear wheel drive. I get it now.
I'm gonna make that the title of this episode.
Beautiful. That's actually pretty funny. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I don't. Wouldn't it be all-wheel drive or something, or front wheel?
You'd be surprised at the lack of 4-wheel drive cars.
Oh no, I mean but this is an Apple car.
I know.
I don't know.
Nah, they're probably gonna go front wheel drive. The Tesla's what's the Tesla?
I think you can get a model that's 4-wheel or dual motor. But I would assume it's front wheel drive.
Yeah, I would assume that too.
Don't quote me on that. His other question is, do you think Apple Car will be self-driving? This is a good one.
Yeah. I forgot about this. That totally changes the entire design of the car.
Yep.
And like the price, and
basically it changes everything.
And the release date of the car, probably 5 years.
I mean, I'm dead serious for sure. Because
Google's making a self-driving car. And they've done tests with it, obviously. It has only been in 2 crashes, and that was the result of people trying to drive it with the wheel. So yeah.
And let's make it clear. For me, I would never buy a car that was strictly self-driving.
No, so they were originally doing that. The Google car didn't have a wheel. I'm like, that's insane. That's crazy. And then thank God that the administration who controls that stuff said you have to have manual, like a ability to control the car manually at all times. That would be scary if you could not do that.
Well, and
even
honestly,
even if it was just like a stop button, I want to be able to drive the car when I want to.
I mean, in all truthfulness, it's not even that for me. It's more of I still want the enjoyment of driving a car. Like sometimes it's just fun to drive.
It's for drunk people.
That would be a potentially life-saving feature.
Right.
And I think it would be cool, for example, I mean, I'm still a student. If I forgot to do homework or something at night, I could just put, I almost said the name of the school. If I would say go to school and then just set the GPS tap on it and then spin around in my chair and put my feet up on the dash and start doing math or algebra or whatever. That would be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Or like make a video in the car as it's driving or something. I don't know. Like that'd be so cool.
You could get so much done.
So much room for activities. So much time, I think it is, but
yeah,
that would be awesome. But I would never buy a car without a wheel.
Yeah.
Ever. No matter what.
Yeah, I wish I could say some cool name from the people who control that stuff. They said that a car has to have a wheel for you to be able to drive it with, even if it is autopilot.
Yeah, and now I think the feature's awesome. Don't
you ever seen iRobot? It had a manual drive, even though everybody was driving on autopilot. Come on, guys, build off of movies.
Robots are gonna take over. You heard it here first. We've said this before.
Gosh dang robots, John! I love that movie.
What movie is that from?
iRobot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was a good movie. I watched it 5 million times. I don't know why I watched it that many times, but I did.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that looks like it just about wraps up our show.
Yeah.
Hopefully, time permitting, we should be back here on Monday evening to debunk and talk a lot about the Apple event that day. Because
it's good.
It's always fun to talk about it not right after, but a few hours after, like our initial reactions and then how they're going to change when we actually get the watch and all that good jazz.
Yep.
Alrighty, Jake. As always, it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to give us a rating or review on iTunes. Speaking of which, I better pull those up just to make sure I give someone the courtesy of reading their review if they left one. PhonePod. Sorry for this delay, guys. I just completely forgot about looking this up. Ratings and reviews. There are no new reviews. So you can still leave a rating on the podcast or leave a review as well. If you just want to rate it and don't want to say anything, you can do that. Just search PhonePod on iTunes and click on the name of the podcast. And also, if you want to
appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. We'd seriously appreciate it. And we might read your review if you leave one.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Jake, as always, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I will catch you in the next one.
And also with you, Sam.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
All right, talk to you later, man.
Bye.